Good evening mga kalaro and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro lang channel where Sportitos talk about a different kind of game. The reality TV game show and social experiment that has run for over 2 decades, Survivor. I'm Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon, and with me as always is Vice Chief Bisdak Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
I'm I don't know what stage of the game we are. We are in anymore. Man, that sounded a lot better in my head. Are we in the merge or not? Tell me, Jeff.
I don't know. Merge, but still with two tribes, two voting groups, and then among those voting groups, we still have the three tribes, right? So yeah. So what's gonna happen tonight? Tonight, the council is gonna take a look at the episode 7 of Survivor season 44, entitled "Let's Not Be Cute About It." Yeah. So still, yeah, two voting groups. One without any voting power but immune, and the other still showing the tribal lines.
Yep.
What did you say?
In a way, yeah.
So it's not quite merged. They're all together in one beach, in one camp, but the tribal lines are still very much there. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start off with our highs.
Yeah.
What do you got?
This might be a little bit controversial, but the thing that I liked the most about the episode was that scramble for the key to the birdcage.
Oh,
It felt like a reward challenge.
An
Like
extra reward challenge for the reward and immunity winners.
Basically, yeah. It was like, it felt like the sort of old school challenges that they used to have, where you had people running around the jungle and not like running around in a like little clearing in the area, you know. Like, one of the things that I very clearly remember from those early seasons watching Survivor when I was in like high school, was them running around the forest like tied to like a string or something they couldn't let go of, from Africa maybe, or Australia.
I think that was Australia, because I do remember Colby being part of it.
Yeah, they're Colby.
Yeah.
So, like, to my mind, like, yeah, that's a Survivor challenge, right? And this was edited to kind of feel like that. So it was like very much a high for me, because it felt like a challenge that wasn't a recycled challenge. Thank you, production.
Yeah, thank you for that. That actually, I wasn't able to point that out, but now that you're talking about it, yes, it was for me. Among the highlights, or meaning the highlights, not necessarily the highs of the shows, but the notable things that happened in the episode. This was really the high, I think. Yeah. So yeah, good job on them. It's also kind of reminiscent of the one from 43, where when was it? Final 6, was it? When they had that they had to figure out that word puzzle, and then Carla was the one who figured it out, and figured out where the hidden advantage was where the advantage was hidden, basically. So,
And even with like 41 and 42, I think they had something similar. Like towards the end, where they're on the new beach and they're like, all right, here's your advantage, right? So yeah, I kind of like that, and I like that they kind of moved it earlier.
Yeah, it's nice, and this is gonna be a recurring theme with a lot of the things that I say, because it's also one of the things that Probst apparently has been. I mean, he's the one who's been saying that a lot of Survivor is risk and reward, and then even the reward for this is still risk. You risk who you're going to control, whose vote you're going to control, and who that person is supposed to vote for, right? For the reward, hopefully, that you get your alliance, you make your alliance stronger, right?
We will get into that.
We will get into that. And I don't think we're going to get into that in this part of the episode.
As Jeff puts it, it's fun. What kind of fun? The dangerous fun.
The dangerous kind of fun. Yeah, for me, one of the things that I really I kind of liked was the fact that somehow Jam Jam did a Gabler by sort of dropping the Matt and Franny relationship when he went, "Oh, Matt isn't here. Who else isn't here?" And
Oh
then the next thing
yeah,
that we see is Matt and Franny walking. So it was like, okay, so without, I don't think he meant to do it, or he probably did. He painted a target on the Matt and
yeah,
Franny even more clearly because we've seen how Claire was after that duo at the start, and then we had Lauren going after that
yeah.
duo, that couple, the last episode and this episode, right? So
Yeah.
we have Jam Jam sort of dropping that Gabler bomb, not really a bomb, but yeah, that hint that
Yeah.
people are noticing. The
It's
Matt and Fanny might not be noticing that people are noticing, but yeah, people are noticing.
that was something that was quite noteworthy for me as well. Like, uh, because usually, as of late, they've been um, relegating to secret scene the scene where they come up with their tribe name,
Yeah.
right? Like the new tribe name is always a secret scene, and somebody comes up with it, whatever. Like it was cool that they actually showed it on air. I
hmm
suppose it was kind of lucky as well that like they it tied into the story of Matt and Franny in this episode in this particular instance, but it was pretty cool to see like deciding their tribe name because it's usually done in a
In the
secret
secret
scene.
scene, yeah. Va va. What do you think? What do you think of that new tribe name?
I'll talk about it off air.
So there will also be a secret scene of Zhao and me talking about his thoughts on the tribe name, the merged tribe name.
If ever we set
Uh,
up a Patreon.
yeah. And if you join us on join our Patreon, you'll get access to that secret scene. All right. Any other highs on your side?
Challenge Beast, Franny Challenge
There you go.
Beast.
Yep. Challenge Beast Franny. You called it. You called it that she is she's showing up to be a challenge beast, and she showed it here.
Yeah.
Definitely showed it here.
Like, but to be
Uh,
fair, they alluded to it, and they alluded to it 2 episodes ago when she just climbed that wall with like it was nothing,
mm,
right? Like there
yeah,
was that American Ninja Warrior wall that they had to climb up, and she
yeah,
just climbed it like it was nothing. It's either she did it because she's tall, or she did it because she's just this challenge beast.
yeah. It looks like, I mean, it might be that she is a challenge beast. She's deceptively agile and makes her dexterity and acrobatics checks
Yeah.
in the spirit of D&D. Uh,
She
uh,
rolled a nat 20.
yeah, she rolled a nat 20 on that. And for this one, she rolled good on her endurance checks, on
Yep.
her constitution checks. Uh yeah. Before this becomes a full blown tutorial on how to play D&D. Yeah, I do like the fact that I'm gonna talk about that later in the next section. But yeah. Matt and Franny, in keeping with Matt and Franny, I like, and again, Martin isn't gonna like this. I like the fact that Matt has continued being sappy
Yeah.
in this episode, and it really played into it, like, because of the fact that he was the one who got voted out. I
Yeah.
think that they pushed the emotional content, especially on the Matt and Franny side, because they wanted us to feel how lost he was when they got
Yeah.
separated, right?
Yeah.
And especially at the end. Good news in case there are some of our viewers who, or some people who still don't know, but in his exit interview, Matt did say that he and Franny are still dating, so that's cute.
Yep.
So yeah, Matt being sappy Matt, it's always a plus for me because they're just too cute. They're just too adorable.
Yeah.
Their showmans is just too adorable.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I wasn't a big fan of it right at the beginning, as you know, but it sort of grew on me, Like, oh,
just like
this
how
is
Carolyn has grown on me, the Matt and Franny showmans has grown on you.
yep. There you go, Jeff Probst. You got us.
You got us, man. You got us. All
Now,
right.
what are
Yeah.
your what's your next high?
Another high. I'm gonna keep it on Matt. Matt figuring out that Danny was playing him,
Mm,
and hopefully with he wanted it would have been cool for the Geek Squad to finally get together and pull something off by voting out Danny,
yeah,
blindsiding him, but circumstances just dictated that it wasn't meant to be for this episode. Right. So Matt figured out that Danny was playing him with a fake idol, and as a result of that, he figured out that Danny had the the real idol from the cage and put together the Geek Squad. Got
mm,
together with a Geek Squad with Kane and Carson and Franny. So that would have been how many of them? That would have been four of them. That would have been a good group. And then
yeah,
if Carson brought in Jam Jam and Carolyn, they would have been a strong alliance.
yeah. That would have been the majority. They would have controlled the game. Oh
Yeah,
man, maybe that's why it wasn't a. Maybe that's why we didn't have the D&D tie-in, because the Geek Squad get picked off one by one.
maybe, maybe, maybe we'll see in the future episodes if if any of the remaining Geek Squads are able uh to avenge their fallen party member.
Do, 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 do.
Any other highs on your side?
My boy Carson
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
doing so good. Absolutely nailing the social game.
Uh-huh. Your canonical winner pick,
Yeah.
nailing the social game. He does seem to be in the nexus of everything. He's like
Yeah,
at the hub of all information from all different groups, right?
yeah, he's well positioned to be like the swing vote moving forward until somebody
Mm.
decides to blindside him, if they do. Right. And so like, yeah, boy Carson doing so well.
If
Doing
anything,
so well.
he his least connected group would be the Ratu minus Kane,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So basically, the three that were on the chopping block. Well, two of them and Brandon. Yeah, because I
So
mean, he plays like he's been alluding to it, and we've been talking about it. He's been playing different roles for different people, right? He
mm,
with the Geek Squad, he's the geeky kid with Carolyn and Jam Jam. They're like the Three Stooges, and he's like Tom Holland for Carolyn. He's Spider Man. So yeah, pretty cool for Carson to get that
I have
social game
Spider-Man
down.
socks on. Just saying
Ooh,
Spider-Man.
nice.
Yeah.
There you go. So in
For
honor
my
of
boy
Carson.
Carson. I don't know why I did that.
Well, this is a free for all. It's not like anyway. I actually don't have a lot of highs. I don't have any more highs. Actually, we can just go on with your highs, your other highs. Do you have any other highs?
uh, we got to see Heidi.
Heidi did something. Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, that's a big thing for me. It's like
Yeah.
we finally got to see Heidi and Lauren, right? Lauren is also
Mm,
like she's also on the precipice of purple, right? So
mm.
like, we get to see more content from them in this particular episode, which means they're now like safe to be voted out. So
And
now we have a level playing field, right? Like we know a little bit about everybody already,
mhm.
so they're good. They're all good to go, right? Like, I don't know, because there were just some people that were, safe because of the edit, like Josh, right? Josh,
Mm.
for the first couple of episodes, we all knew that Josh wasn't going to go home because like we didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
Like I get the feeling that Heidi was the same way. Like Heidi had plot armor, not the good kind. But like
Well, she
now that she's
did make that fire early in the game.
yeah,
That was her only claim to actually doing anything at the
Does
start
this
of at the early part of the game.
does this mean they're foreshadowing a Heidi win
Ooh,
with
at
fire?
Final Four,
Because of
maybe.
fire? Like, oh wow.
Yeah,
And that would
that
be
would have been like Chekhov's gun, like set way early in the season, only to get used like in Final Four. That would be a pretty cool for me. That would be pretty cool if that's the case. All right.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna be super disappointed if that happens though. Because if we were to follow the trajectory of our other hidden winner
mm,
in the person of Erica, by this point in season 41, we were already getting Erica content. Like,
yeah, and
you
she
know,
was already being like highlighted as someone the other. Uh, wait, wait. My camera is weird.
it's like mga kalaro, it's like he's looking into your soul. Look at that image.
All right, there you go. So anyway, yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. So and we were already getting contents. We were already getting the feel that the other tribe mates, the other people in on the tribe, in the merged tribe, were seeing her as a threat. We're seeing Erica as a threat. So at this point in time, during season 41, if Heidi is supposedly a hidden winner, by this time we would already be getting more and more uh, quotes from others saying that okay, she's dangerous and yada yada yada. But for some reason, the only praise that
Mhm.
Heidi got was from Franny, saying that she's her own woman. She can do her own thing, right? But other
Yeah,
than that, we still don't know much about Heidi.
yeah.
Yeah,
But we did get like a Heidi-ish episode
yeah.
today, so that's that's a step in the right direction, I
That's a
guess.
step in the right direction. Maybe it's just starting a little later, but hopefully, she comes to play. She
Yeah.
gets in the game. Yeah. Other highs.
I think we should listen to Martin and then get into the more meaty part of the
Okay, the more
episode.
meaty part of this episode. All right, let's go ahead and listen to Martin's thoughts.
Martin's Thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah. Welcome to Martin's Thoughts, and I hope I can give you a papaya for these trying times, because trust me, thanks to work I can't even make it tonight. My name is Martin, and here are my highs. The first high is this new kind of way they wanted to make this tribal council. Like, have two tribes, the winning tribe will not be eligible to be voted for, so they're safe. But their safety is at the cost of their votes. That's a very interesting kind of way to play Survivor, and I hope that this is just a one and done deal per season, because this is way better. Well, for me at least, way better than the shillelagh of time. Even though it did not a win for Erica, you don't do that like again after that time, and the season after that. That's like one and done. Hopefully this is like not one and done, but you do this every other season, so as to not make it like twice in a row. But I like this new wrinkle. Very amazing innovation for me at least. Now the next high I have is how they did the editing on the very emotional tribal council. Like I like how they pulled the papaya, how the certain track they pulled that the bag of tricks, and then Matt pulls out the papaya. You know, that I'm just a sucker for papayas. And speaking of papayas, would you like a papaya in these trying times, guys? Really, final offer, final offer. I literally have one in my ref right now. Anyway, what else? Yeah. Basically, that was good editing. How they did the tribal council. The last time I really got emotional was the time where it was Sarah and Tony in the Winners at War Tribal Council where they had to do the face off. So, no, after that one, this is one of the more touching kinds of, tribal councils in the past couple of years. So, good job on the editors and the post prod on that one.
Martin's Thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Okay, so those are Martin's thoughts, Martin's highs. So the papaya,
Two things.
yeah,
Yeah.
the papaya and the twist. Yeah, he is right. I think that he's correct. I agree with him that it's sort of both a high and a low, that the twist of splitting the tribe into two. It's nice because it's new. How effective, how personally, how good it was for TV, or for the Survivor flow. I don't know, not really too keen on it. What about you?
I was just gonna say that it looks like Matt and Franny as a couple has grown on Martin as well.
Because he got emotional during that papaya scene.
Yeah, he got emotional.
Although he did give
And,
props to editing and not to Matt and Franny.
Yeah, but if he didn't like them, he wouldn't have felt.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have felt the way he did.
I guess, yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah.
And yeah, I totally forgot to mention that papaya. Like in the last week we were in my wife's hometown, right? And we were with my mother-in-law, and like they have a lot of fruit trees in the area, and like one of her uncles came in from the States, and like I got a papaya from one of the trees and gave it to him, and I was like thinking to myself, "Oh, I'm Matt."
You were embodying Matt. You were foreshadowing Matt. Matt doing, at least I'm guessing your your uncle-in-law accepted the papaya. Right?
Yeah. Well, this was on Thursday, so this was like or Friday rather. So like this was the day after I watched the episode. I was like,
okay.
Papaya.
There you go. There you go. A papaya in honor of Matt. So yeah. True. That was
fallen
good editing.
brother.
For the fallen brother. That was good editing for them to be able to do that. They were really pushing it. You did, like I said, it was at the start where Jam already pointed out who was not here. So the spotlight really was on Matt and Franny. So I think that this was necessarily their episode, albeit their final on show episode. Well, Matt's still gonna show up because he's gonna be he's the first member of the jury, so he's still gonna show up. So we're still gonna see their faces light up every time that they see each other during tribal. Right. So that's still gonna happen.
Is this going to be a Franny win?
That is something for our third section. But yeah, I have thoughts on that.
I wonder if we have the same thoughts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, might be. So before that, let's go ahead to our lows. The more, as you said, the meat here part. And yes, I've been watching some of, especially No Buffs and some other videos, mainly No Buffs, and it really has been a discussion whether or not Franny should have thrown that challenge. So yeah, that was a missed opportunity for her to save both Matt and Jam.
Yeah, that was the logical thing to do for her, which but then at the same time, right? Like, you're in the moment, you're like, oh, I gotta win this and all of that sort of thing. So like, I guess we can't fault them for not thinking clearly because they haven't been getting any food and all of that. But the way to have played that optimally, unless she wants to have Matt be mayor of Ponderosa, is maybe Matt is a little bit more expendable. Like the story that we were kind of being told was that Matt is more into Franny than Franny was into Matt, right? So as I think it might have been Skeets or whoever it was, it mentioned like maybe she's or maybe he's a little bit more expendable to her than she is to him. Like yeah, that's another possibility, but the ideal play really was to throw the challenge once she had gotten immunity for herself.
Yeah.
But then that would have put Carolyn in the line of fire. So,
True.
And
But yeah, like I
Carson,
mentioned in our group chat, she was definitely playing as a fan and not as a player. Because as a fan, you want that win. You want to earn that win, right? So she does, like you said, they haven't been eating much, so the strategy might have not been as keen or as top of mind for her to save both. I don't what we have to wonder is whether or not Franny realized that she could have saved Matt by throwing the challenge after she got her own individual immunity. Maybe we'll find out in the next episode.
I think she alluded to it, like in a confessional or something.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, like she didn't outright say like, "Oh, I done goofed," but I think she like alluded to the fact that she could have saved Matt, like in one of those hindsight is 2020 kind of things. But like, yeah, she probably made the wrong call.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just really loves peanut butter and jelly.
Maybe. And really salty potato chips.
Yeah.
And iced tea. Right. What's your lows?
The fact that we haven't had a proper merge vote yet. Even
True.
though we're supposedly merged.
True.
Like, I'm with Rob Sesternino on this. It was just basically a tribe swap, and it was just basically a tribe swap.
Exactly.
There should have been a tribe swap.
True. It's basically a tribe swap, but the twist is that the other tribe is observing. Right? Exactly that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't get to watch Rob's breakdown of the episode, but yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Yeah, it was like they had two tribe swaps in a row. Right, like the earn the merge thing, that was still a split tribal, and this one was a split tribal. So like we haven't had a proper merge vote yet. I mean, it's a matter of semantics. According to Rob Sesternino, like the way that he makes it more palatable for himself. And this is just kind of me putting words into his mouth, right? Or the way it is being made more palatable to me by the words of Rob Sesternino is think of it as a tribe swap and not think of it as a merge with them being split into two tribes during this phase of the game. That's
if you think about it that way
thing,
so we aren't at the merge yet, but whoever got voted out is now in the jury. It's a little bit more palatable, but yeah. So I take it that you're not agreeing with with Martin's thought of the twist being a high.
I mean, it was
nice because it's new. Yeah, it was nice because it's new. But whether or not it was good for Survivor, yeah.
It's like fire tokens, it's a one and done.
Yeah, or maybe do it. How would you do it earlier though? You wouldn't be able to do it earlier.
Yeah, then push the merge later.
Yeah.
And the twist is the person that's voted out now is on the jury. Whoa,
Mm.
that's a twist. That's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Well,
sounds cooler that way.
yeah, it does. It does. I don't know how to make this one better. Yeah. But anyway, hopefully they revisit this. I don't know if they're already shooting 45 and 46. I don't think that they have. I think that they've just started sending out casting notices for 45 or something.
Um,
Uh but
oh,
yeah,
it's
another low for me is how Heidi used her control to vote. Right.
mm,
It was really. I think that she mismanaged it. She It was a way for them, their group, Soka. I know that she had Matt in mind, trying to save Matt because she wanted Soka strong, but to
mm.
pin the vote on Jam Jam from Lauren, I think that was where the strategy was off. Right.
Wait, the casting for Survivor 47.
Oh, they're casting for 47 already. Oh yeah, because as I remember, I think people are thinking that 46 is going to be a returning season or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they've already cast for 45, so they might already be shooting 45.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, so
going back,
going
let's
back.
not
So
talk about the episode that we'll be making during the off season.
so yeah, Heidi's control the vote. It could have been because Jamie has some ties to Soka because she lived with him for a couple of days.
Hmm.
One way of maybe trying to make Jamie think that she could swing over to Soka is to get Brandon's vote instead and try to make Brandon vote for Lauren because it
Yeah,
couldn't have been Lauren on Jamie or Jamie on Lauren, right? You give Jamie that agency, quote unquote, to 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 swing over to Soka. Right. So tell Brandon to vote Lauren. Then that way you make Jamie think. Hopefully Matt and Jam Jam get that as a signal to okay, put your votes on Lauren. Right?
yeah. I mean, that was
So
what's it? Matt said as much that if Heidi had voted for anybody,
but
either
Jam Jam.
if it had, yeah, for anybody but
Yeah.
Jam Jam or Matt, they would have put their votes on whoever she
Yeah.
voted for to force a tie, or
Mm.
to force a tie.
At the very least to force a tie. So yeah, and since we've already seen next week on Survivor, it basically is a formal declaration of war against Ratu. Like this is Soka
Mhm.
versus Ratu. And
Yeah,
you put Jamie right smack in the middle of that, and she feels all of the privilege of being like, everyone wants to work with me, so I'll work with everybody, right? So yeah, but like we've discussed also in our group chat, when she asked Lauren to vote for Jam Jam, as soon as that happened, Matt was doomed. Even
yeah,
and even actually, if she there was no real way for them to no real assurance that they were gonna get their way. If say for example, what I said what was gonna happen if Heidi got Brandon to vote for Lauren, then Lauren could have just used her two votes, right, to vote for someone else for Matt still, right, and then if Jamie doesn't swing to the other side to Soka, then that would still have been a 3-3 tie, right? And then in the revote, uh Lauren and Matt wouldn't be voting, so it would just be Jam Jam, Jamie, and Brandon. So that would become a 2-1 vote for Matt. So yeah,
yeah,
the plan working would hinged on Jamie switching or flipping over to Soka,
yeah.
or flipping at the very least flipping away from Ratu Strong.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, I
The
mean,
upside.
yeah, it all goes back to Franny's missed opportunity to save both Matt and Jam Jam.
Yeah, the upside in all of this for me is that moving forward, the real power is with Tika.
Yes, the Stooges. I'm not really that sold on the Stooges moniker for their trio, but yeah, that's what they call
Yeah,
themselves, or
because
at
Carson
least
is
that's
my
what's
canonical
Carson.
winner pick.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But it would be cool to see the tribe going into merge with the least numbers to actually get farther. Right, we haven't really seen that as much. Shan got far, but still didn't make it. Right, it would be nice to see this group because I mean, let's face it, they're the most fun tribe. That's why for most of the season we've been on the Tika beach,
yeah.
right? So yeah, yeah. So we any other lows on your side?
Um, I actually don't like the steal a vote advantage or whatever it was,
The controller vote.
whatever it's called. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
rather the controller vote. Yeah, I don't quite like it because they weren't supposed to have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I just wasn't. There was just something I haven't been able to sit down and think about it, but there was just something about it that I didn't quite like.
Mm,
Um, if there wasn't an extra vote in play, that would have made Heidi the swing vote.
exactly.
And I don't know if that is. I don't know if that's giving one person too much power.
Mm.
It seems kind of imbalanced, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially since Jeff did say that you won't have a say in who goes home during the
Yeah.
challenge, right? And then all of a sudden, the advantage gives them a say in who goes home. Would it have been more effective as an advantage or a twist if no one found out that Heidi got the advantage?
Hmm.
All right. That they wouldn't know who among the six of them had the advantage, and then Heidi just suddenly stands up. Then they do a flashback edit to her getting it while everyone was still searching for keys, and then she goes around still looking for keys, and then they go back and oh no, it's not there anymore. Who has it? Who has it? All right.
Hmm. Oh.
Would it have been? But yeah,
Uh,
in terms of giving one person power over the vote, a person who is not supposed to have power over the vote because she's on the other side, yeah, it is imbalanced. It is overpowered. Yeah.
but then I guess the way it turns out, and this is just me sort of um thinking about the other side of what the
Mm,
argument might be is but a way that it was a bit more balanced out, I guess, is the fact that it had to be done publicly.
mm,
So now she's on Jam Jam's hit list.
exactly. That's why it was also a wrong move to put the vote on Jam Jam,
Yeah.
especially if she because I think that Ratu thought of the numbers. I mean, wasn't it? It was Lauren who was thinking of the numbers, right? We've got three Ratu here. We've got Kane on the other side. So there's four of us, and then on their side there's Danny, there's Heidi, and Franny, and no one else, right? Who else is? Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
So it's 3-3-4 basically right now, right? After the vote, so they really were thinking of taking out. I think that as much as they probably thought Jam Jam is a dangerous social player, Lauren had the numbers in mind, and
Mm.
now she's got now Ratu has somewhat of an advantage over over Soka. I think that they really have Soka on their eyesight. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, wrong move.
That's
Going back, Heidi again. Heidi's use of the control about. She gets her 15 minutes of fame and she squanders it.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
Mm.
of things that we're not too keen about, I'm not too keen about that whole twist. We've already alluded to it, right? The safety without power thing.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. We're going back to the fact that it it's not a merged vote. It's not a merged vote. It's it. Uh, you basically just you have two tribes still. Well, in this case, we actually still had three tribes, and you just really put those from the other two tribes who were so unlucky to have gotten into that group of five at a very huge disadvantage because would there have been a way for it to be balanced because it was a random rock draw, would there have been a way for there to be a balanced number of each? Let's say Carson was still the one who pulled the gray rock. Would there have been a way for so that the Jam Jam and Carolyn on either side, and then you've got how many? And then there's four of each, right?
Mm.
How did it shake out? So it could have been two on either side, but since there was two on either side, meaning on the if the voting group had been on the other side, Kane would have been an easy target for Soka, right? Because there would have been three of them there,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Am I right? Yeah, Danny, Heidi, and Franny would have been there
Yeah.
if they were thinking in the same way that Ratu was thinking in the other side, right? So Kane would have been and I wouldn't have wanted that. He's my winner pick. uh, and yeah, but yeah, I'm not really a fan of the twist. Sorry, Marts. I know that you are. But yeah, sorry, I'm not.
I'm just realizing, right, that when we had the merge episode, um my prediction was uh in in theory correct. The
Mm.
whole it being like an earn the merge,
Mm-hmm.
that was correct. But in practice, your they're just going to have them do a one world thing was more correct.
Yeah, it's one world, but there's still three tribes. So that's still what's happening right now.
Well, it's two tribes. It's two tribes. The
No, it's
the
two
the,
tribes.
the two teams, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the two teams. It's two tribes, and the twist could have been like, all right, everybody, all tribes line up. Everybody draw rocks. Is this the merge? Is this the merge? Everybody turn them over. All right, the person that has a gray rock, you're sitting out, and like um and then what's going through their heads is like, oh my god, is this like the hourglass thing or some variation thereof? And then Jeff is like, and this is the immunity challenge, and you get to pick which tribe you think is going to make it, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it plays out exactly the same way, except they're two merged tribes. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah,
what could have been? What
what
could
could
have
have
been?
been? What could have been? And Matt alluded as much that he had like a Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness thing going on in his head. Like all of the things that had to happen for him to get voted off happened.
Yeah.
That one possibility, all of those things happened. Yeah. Any other lows in your side?
Yeah. Uh, well, the fact that Matt is gone, like,
Mm,
oh man, I was starting to like the kid, you know.
same, same. I've always liked his sappy showmance with Franny. And I'm at least, yeah, I like the fact that they are still dating. They went on the Ethiopian food date. We still don't know if they went to the same restaurant that you went to when you were in where is it? Chicago?
In Boston
In
or in
Boston, sorry. In Boston.
yeah, or in Cambridge, like
Yeah.
the next to
Yeah. Oh yeah, in Cambridge. All right. And yeah, so and then he said that the road trip is in the works. So kudos to Matt and Franny. Hope you have a long road ahead.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
nice, nice,
yeah,
nice.
there you go.
I see what you did there. They don't call us Titos for nothing.
Yeah, they don't call us Titos for nothing.
What's brown and sticky? A stick.
A stick. All right, before we veer too far off and become too much of Titos, let's go to Martin's thoughts, or do you have anything else?
Let's go to Martin's thoughts,
Let's
and if
go to
anything pops
Martin.
up,
all righty,
then we'll talk about it after his thoughts.
Here we go with Martin's thoughts.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
And now let's go to the lows. Well, I think Jao and Joel would have said this already, but yes, I think in our chat he mentioned that Franny kind of, effed up on this or messed up, and I think I'm just gonna say I categorically agree. They'll be saying it already, like elaborate on that already, like a few minutes before this one or after. I'm not sure how this is placed, but you know what I mean. Aside from that, I think it's not just Franny that fumbled. When you think about it, the rat to vote out Matt, or I don't know, Jam would have still been a low for them going in the long run. Because if they took out one of the OG Tikas or the OG Sokas, and these are two people who didn't get the switch, because the only one that added to the Ratu tribe was a former Tika in Carson. They just kind of messed themselves up in the standing of the merge tribe because, okay, technically they're 4 with Carson, but Carson's former Tika. And that's 3 OG Tikas, 3 OG Sokas. And I think that's just 4 OG Ratus. So yeah, from the OG standpoint, there's 4 versus 3 versus 3. But now you just gave the 2 other tribes the impetus to drive you 4 out. That's still 6 against 4. And the odds are going to be stacked against you after you vote one of them out. You guys can say, hey, Martin, but they're too strong. Why would they want to vote out one of them? Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they when the short-term answer or solution was to take out Matt or Jam during that situation? When they could turn on one of them first and then say, see, whole new tribe. We're not gonna run up the numbers and be too strong. You guys are safe, and then get the core 3 of them. But the problem is, who's that? Is that Lauren, Brandon, Kane? Then you gotta take out Jamie. Who knows? Maybe that would have worked, right? Maybe that would have worked way better than what they did this night. So while you guys, yeah, Franny did fumble, sure, but I'm pretty sure Ratu fumbled here in the long term. The other down, I think, was, well, I think that's it for me. I think this is similar to what happened in Survivor 4, Survivor Marquesas, when the Alliance showed their true colors and chopped off the names of certain people one by one, and everyone found out, and soon they turned on them. I forgot what the Alliance was called, but it was those guys that was not part of Pascal, Vesapia, or Son's Alliance. Vesapia won that season. Look it up. That's 20 years back. But, let's not get to that. Let's go to the next part of the show.
Martin's Thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting that Martin pointed out that Ratu fumbled on voting out Matt.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is I suppose this is for the prediction section.
Mm. Yeah. So
We
yeah,
talk about
let's go ahead and go to our predictions. First of all, let's start with whose line is it actually? So next week's episode is "Don't Be Cocky, Kid."
yeah,
So
probably talking about Carson, whoever says it.
since he's the youngest, yeah.
Let me just verify that. Is he the youngest? Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
is. Yeah,
currently
very
in,
yeah.
how old is he? Is he 19?
20.
20. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Carson, if you had Carson and who was that one? Was that one from last season? Brandon? Or sorry, what was the name of
Uh
the 19-year-old from last season?
yeah,
The
I
kid
have his
who always said that he was 19. But
he's
anyway, if you put
22.
them beside each other, you would think that Carson is much
Sammy.
younger. Sammy, there you go.
Sammy.
Yeah, you would think that Carson is much younger than Sammy, when in fact, yeah, Sammy is they're
A
right about the
year
same
older.
age.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be Carson.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be Carson talking about himself.
Oh.
Like, I'm doing so well, but I should be telling myself, don't get cocky, kid.
Mm. For me, the language sort of sounds like Carolyn.
Talking about Carson?
Talking about Carson. Don't be cocky, kid. Right. But here
Hmm.
in my in my notes, I actually have in the spirit of seeing more of this person. I think that it's Heidi.
So that's your official prediction.
Yeah, that's my official prediction. Oh, let's go. Speaking of predictions, last week, while we did get the sort of the fact that the line "Let's not be cute about it" was going to be said by either Matt or Franny. We got it totally wrong. It was just
Yeah.
a throwaway line. Uh,
I was uh I was hoping we would just slide by that, just like the line, it
yeah,
just passed.
just passed with a papaya. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, and looking at the predictions, like you were right. This is the heartbreak episode.
it was the heartbreak episode. Just not the
Yeah.
heartbreak that we thought it would be. It was a heartbreak because Franny missed an opportunity and it cost her Matt.
Yeah.
Oh,
It cost her number one.
you're number
Oh.
one. All right.
Speaking of, man,
Mm,
speaking of, um, depending on your generation, dear listeners, um, this is going to be the beginning of either Kill Bill or John Wick, like
exactly.
Franny arc.
Exactly. Yes, I am with you on that. It seems that given that she's a challenge beast, it is most possible that she will now be on a revenge tour. So
Yeah,
those names, Brandon, uh, who is this? Sorry, Lauren, Jamie, maybe even Jam Jam. They
yeah,
are now on her sites.
yep. When I was thinking about it, Kill Bill, and
Yeah,
then
that's
and
true.
then and then I realized. And then I realized, like, but then, the thing that everybody's watched now is like John Wick.
Mm,
Like, that's the revenge plot.
yeah. So she's gonna go all John Wick on that other group.
Or if you want to feel really snooty about yourself, she's gonna do an old boy.
Old boy. Yeah,
See, we,
old
we
boy.
were we were into your Titos were into like Korean stuff before Korean stuff was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
My sassy girl, old
My
boy,
sassy
come
girl.
on.
There. I was thinking about that. My sassy girl. We watched Korean K-drama even before it became cool to do so. Yeah. So yeah, and I think that the revenge tour of Franny will have the backdrop of this tribal war between Soka and Ratu. And Tika will just
Yeah.
be in the middle, trying to work its way to getting to that the Three Stooges trying to get to that final stage of the game, right? So yeah,
And at least one of them is gonna make it. That's my
yeah,
call. At least one of the Tika three is gonna be in, you know, w- w- maybe in fire. I don't know, but like
maybe, maybe.
within sort of striking distance of winning.
Mhm. Imagine. Well, now I'm
At
trying to
least one of them.
imagine any of the three of them making fire. It's not gonna be an easy task for any of them, any of the three of them. Maybe Jam Jam might have the because I remember he was the one who was able to. Am I right? Yeah, he's the one who was able to make the fire Antigua. They didn't have it that much that often because they kept on losing, so their flint wasn't with them. But I remember
Didn't
he was
have
the
the
one who,
flint.
yeah, he was able to make the fire for Tika. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other predictions?
Unfortunately for Carson, he can't 3D print a flint.
Yeah. So his 3D printing of stuff will not help him there. And who knows? Carolyn might be
Yeah.
a secret fire starter.
Yeah.
Right.
Abby.
Just like Heidi. Fire starter, vote controller.
Vote controller.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Any other predictions
Yeah,
on your side?
really, that's it.
Hmm. So yeah, Kill Bill. We're gonna
No,
see a
that's
Kill
really
Bill.
it. Just Kill Bill like revenge arc, and she might actually win it because this was the thing that I wanted to mention, because Matt is the mayor of Ponderosa,
True.
and so he's going to be like, preaching the gospel of Franny
Mm-hmm.
whenever anybody like shows up at Ponderosa. He's gonna be like, she's playing a great game.
Mm.
She knew when to cut me, and all of that sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he can put it that way. Yeah. Like nah, yeah, she knew when to cut. She knew that she had to cut me. We were becoming too much of a couple, so she couldn't really do it. Yada yada yada. Yeah.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
before, and before this episode, right? Like Matt and Franny have been notably absent, as Jam Jam pointed out.
Mm.
And so for the people that come off the island, Matt is going to be the one that can fill them in on what they were talking about, the strategy and all of that.
Mm.
And he could embellish, right? He could
Yeah.
embellish. Like, oh yeah, she was actually like behind the Claire vote or whatever.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah. She saved me. I didn't have votes for the first two tribals, and she was really working hard to make sure that I didn't get found out. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah.
this might end up being beneficial to Frenny. Who was it? Someone, I don't know if it was from our group chat, or if it was something I saw on No Buffs. Someone said there that Franny won the battle but lost the war or something. But if this does happen and Matt does pull for Franny in Ponderosa as mayor of Ponderosa, she may have just won the battle and found a way to win the war in the
Yeah.
end.
Let's see how good a General Matt is.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Any other predictions?
No, I think that's about it.
All right. So let us go ahead and see what uh, Martin has on his predictions.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
So where does this lead us? So this is funny. I said this in the lows that Ratu kind of fumbled here in the long term. If I go again back to Survivor Marquesas, can you have 3 guesses as to what tribe the tribe name was back then of that alliance in the merge? It was called Row 2. No, the Row 2 alliance of Zoe, Tammy, Robert, and maybe John when he was still there. Yeah, that alliance. So this is the new Row 2 or Ra2 alliance in 44. If everyone else sees that right now, obviously there's gonna be the new targets. So Brandon, Kane, Lauren, Jamie, the other new Row 2, now Ra2. And the other 6 people should be, if they're smart enough, should be taking those 4 out one by one because they still have the numbers. That's still what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 against 4. Right? If they're smart enough. If they can, let bygones be bygones. If, Matt had the fake idol thanks to Danny. Hopefully Franny is okay with that. Hopefully Carolyn and Jam Jam would be still a-okay with each other. Maybe Carson would be that third cog to, steer the ship of OGT. Gang up with Soka and take out the orange people. Maybe if they're smart enough. Because that's what happened like almost 20 years back in season 4. Hey, how about we take out the 4 and make it 4? If this is how it's gonna turn out, I think that's my prediction. This is the downfall of the new Row 2, which is Ra2, starting by next episode. If the 2 other tribes are smart enough to realize that and act fast before the 4 try to run the show. And that's it for me for the predictions.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, it might be history repeating itself.
That's really funny because like the joke that we had at the beginning of the season was I dropped the 4 and I kept the 4.
Ooh.
And because that was kind of ridiculous. Right? Drop the 4, keep the 1. Drop the 4, keep the 4.
So
As supposed to drop and keep the same thing. But now if we're looking at like, Survivor market. So who's going to be the Boston Rob for this new generation?
We'll
Question
see.
for Martin.
We'll figure.
Who's going to play
we'll
like 5 times and like win just eventually? Matt.
Yeah, for this new era, right?
Matt and Franny
might...
are Boston Rob and Amber.
Then they're gonna come back for All Stars, and then Matt is finally gonna propose to Franny, and when they win or something. So wow, that's a prediction not just for the season but for the future of Survivor. Right.
Yeah, pencil that in for 40 for Survivor 56.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. We'll see.
5 years from now.
5 years from now. So we will see. Going to our survivors of the week. Who is your castaway of the week?
Franny.
Yep.
Challenge Beast.
And
beating a former NFL player.
Yeah. And anticipating the fact that she will now be on a Kill Bill revenge tour against the 4 that remained and from that group on the other side, and possibly Danny for for giving Matt a fake idol.
Yeah, that'd be cool. He's like, you gave my boyfriend a fake idol.
You go down.
It has to be a blind side because he has the idol, right?
He has the real idol. Goat of the week.
Franny.
Wow, we're 2 of 2. I also have Franny because of that missed opportunity, right?
Yeah, because she lost her number 1.
Yeah, she lost her number 1, and had it been their group voting, that's 6 of them, she would have 3 on her side, because of the Geek Squad going up against Danny. All right.
Yeah.
And on the other side, who would it have been? And it would have been easy for Carson to bring in Carolyn to that, right? They would have
Mm.
gotten that. They would have gotten that. Missed opportunity. Unfortunately, she's both the castaway of the week and the goat of the week for us.
Right.
Purple of the week.
Franny's strategic play. No. The merge is the purple.
The
of the week.
merge. Wow, that's actually really good. That
The
is
concept
actually
of
really good.
merge.
Yes.
Mergedness. The concept of mergedness.
Yes. Yes. They're right now they're just in one world. They're not merged. Yeah. For me, my purple of the week, it's pretty obvious. It was Matt's bag of tricks.
Yeah.
He did say that he has a bag of tricks, but as far as we know, he just has a
He
fake
left
idol
it on
and a
the
shot in the
camp.
dark. And he left it in camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, that's
well.
that's how the twist affects everything, right? I mean, he before this, there was never this kind of twist where those who lost the immunity challenge had to go to a different beach, right? So
This is the this should have been the next week's episode title. Don't get cocky, kid, right? Because Matt,
mhm.
you know, that was kind of cocky, not bringing your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Martin has his thoughts on this as well. Let me go ahead and see. Let's see in what he's got.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Oh, before I forget, don't get cocky, kid. Shit. Who's gonna say that line? Maybe let's go with Danny. I mean, even Danny in the previews are talking about Ratu. We gotta take someone from Ratu out. Maybe the cocky kid is from Ratu, but which cocky kid from Ratu? I don't know. Maybe let's give it to Kane. Kane seems young enough for Danny to say, yeah, don't get cocky, kid. And that's it for me. Martin's thoughts. This is Martin. Martin, setting out.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he thinks that Danny's gonna talk about Kane. That's interesting. That's interesting. All right. Any other thoughts on your side, man?
Can't wait for the Quentin Tarantino movie.
I can't wait for having an actual merged tribe and merged vote. Yeah, we've had 2 episodes of mergatory, technically, essentially 2 votes of mergatory. They haven't been treated as a merged tribe just yet. All right. Well, if there is nothing else, that is it for this episode of the Council of Titos. If you like this episode, hit the like button and consider subscribing as well, and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we have new content on the channel. And if for those of you who don't want to have to look at our mugs as we talk Survivor, you can always catch us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Council of Titos. Anyway, this has been Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon.
I'm Jao. Bye-bye.
We hope that you can join us on the council again soon. Until then, stay safe, everyone. The Titos have spoken. These are V's for Vava as well.